Alright everybody, welcome back to another Dead by Daylight video. Today we're talking about Chucky, like we usually do. And more specifically, Scamper. So, as a lot of you know, when they got rid of the 180s, which I know some people have told me it's incorrect to call it a nerf because it was a bug fix, it was a nerf. Listen guys, I don't care what anyone says, it was technically a nerf. I don't care if it was a bug or not, intended or not. It was still affecting the character in a negative way by taking it away. Therefore, a nerf. But, as compensation, they did buff Scamper a little bit. So let's talk about Scamper. Scamper is, in my opinion, and most people's opinion, the most boring thing about Chucky. Because all you do is wait for someone to drop a pallet, you activate your ability, and you scamper directly under it. And if you're really coy, you scamper back to the other side and do a double take on some of the shorter loops. So, I want this nerfed, and many other Chucky players want Scamper nerfed. It's just not fun for either side, really. All you're doing in that case as Chucky is you're pressing a button and you're basically guaranteeing yourself a free hit. All you're doing on Survivor's End is hoping to God the Chucky's power is on cooldown. That's all you're really doing. That being said, I did ask the community on Twitter, here on YouTube, and in my Discord. Basically been asking how they would like it nerfed. Because I've had a few ideas on how to nerf Scamper. Because I don't want it to become completely useless. But, you know, I've heard some suggestions, and I just kind of want to put them out here. The one that got the most votes was making it so you can only do it during Slice and Dice. And I think that is probably the most fair change they can do to it. Now, this does have a few problems with it, and that means that Chucky can break pallets in his power, which, that's a give or take. I actually kind of like it. But it means that you can't just scamper under every pallet. You have to, like, think about it. Can you get the 90 flick the moment you come out of the pallet? Did the survivor just hold W away from the pallet? If they did, then the slice and dice is actually better to do. And a way to compensate it would be to just make it faster. And I know it's pretty fast now, but if you have to use slice and dice to do it, I think upping the speed would be just fine. Which brings us to the next suggestion, which is making it slower. Now, here's the problem with making it slower and why I don't think that's what they need to do. If you make it too slow, it becomes pretty much useless, except on God pallets. Now, you could argue, well, that's similar to Wesker. Yeah, to a degree, but even then I think Wesker's is more of a gimmick than like something you can actually do. There are some pallets where you can, or some loops and pallets where you can still get hits by vaulting over them with Wesker. Not that it's slow, it's just you have that wind up before the cooldown, which is the next suggestion. Once you scamper, you can't basic attack. Now, here is why I don't think they will do this one, even though I think it's a pretty okay change. It is very hard to convey that Chucky is not able to M1. Because of the third-person camera, you don't really see the blade wipe unless you're really paying attention. And I just mean like you're actually looking down at the blade and whatnot. So it would be a nightmare in that sense of feeling extremely clunky for people who aren't 100% used to it. Also, it brings up questions of, well, what about can you slice and dice immediately after? Does your power bar deplete? Things like that. So it brings in a lot of other questions and like how do we fix this problem, because that brings up another issue. Personally, I think it should just be the slice and dice change. Just make it so you can only scamper when you slice and dice, and that's it. I've said slice and dice at least 17 times in this video. Someone please count that for me. I would love you forever if you do. But Scamper is just an infuriating thing, and I don't understand why they buffed it. I talked about this before. The any means necessary buff they did, or nerf they did, where it doesn't stop you from scampering anymore, I thought was stupid, and I don't know why they did it. It was a fun interaction that the survivors had with Chucky, and now it's just not there. I don't know anyone who was complaining about it. Like, if the Chucky knew what they were doing, they would just break the pallet. Like, it wasn't that difficult to counter. I don't know. As much as I would love to see 180 flicks come back, I don't like the current playstyle of Scamper. I think it is too good in too many situations, and is very flowcharty and just guarantees hits, and that should never be a thing of the game. For the most part. Obviously, eventually you're going to get a hit, but yeah, I don't know what they can really do to change Scamper. I think scampering from window vaults is just fine. For those who don't know, it actually increases the speed at which you do it. I think that's just fine. But yeah, under palettes, I would love to hear other change ideas. I really would. And I know Behavior doesn't watch these videos or anything. It's just always fun to talk about. I like to hear what people think about certain topics like this. And I think Scamper is going to be a point of contention on Chucky for a long time. Until they do something about it. Hell, I would even be cool if they nerfed the... If they made it slow, but they buffed running shoes again. I'd be cool with that. I think making it take 1.6 seconds instead of 1.4. I know that doesn't seem like much, but that 0.2 seconds can mean the whole difference. But we'll see what they do. Like I said, drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget that we do polls on stuff like this all the time here in the Discord community tab as well. But I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. And yeah, bye.